right, breaking news. We reported it earlier. Still breaking.
Yeah.
And the president took a bow for Nigeria. Okafor.
Yeah, you know,
the last one was for democracy.
Like I
now,
like I said earlier, all these things are making the news because out of about 27 days in this year, the president has spent only 7, 8. People could say 7 days, and some other person can say 8 days, but that's the maximum we can give. You know, that is not, does not reflect somebody who is ready to sit back at home and solve the problems that is facing us. You know, forget about the next year is an election. It's been an election problem since 2023 that this government took over. But let's face the fact. Just last week, over 160 something persons were kidnapped in Kaduna State, you know, from the church. And that's not the first time we're hearing that kind of news. But the principal thing is that the police denied that it happened. Meaning that the police were not even aware. You know, only two things are possible. That they were aware, they are trying to cover it up. That is not a good news. Or they were truthfully not aware. That is a gross incompetence. And up till now, we've not heard that anybody was disciplined and there's any kind of action taken against the police command there.
That the people be seen.
Nothing like that. You know, how many can we continue to name? The coup that was denied, that it never happened last year, now 3 months after, the defense headquarters is coming out that they are going to try some people for alleged coup plot, that it actually, you know, was on the pipeline. And how do you manage such when the government of the day is filled with misinformation to the people, with all the problems ravaging us? So you expected that the president is going to be sitting back at home. Now, as I speak with you, the National Assembly do not know whether they are resuming or not. The president is on a break, unwritten and unannounced break, because it's not in Nigeria. You might think, oh, his tourism forms part of our solution. If all the things that should be happening in Nigeria are happening in the right order, nobody's going to be bothered that the president fell. We fall every day. Everybody trips, whether you are old or young. Anybody can fall, anybody can sleep. It's not a thing of only the president. We see President of America trip. It was almost a how do I call identity of Joe Biden. Joe Biden, what it was. Anybody could trip, so anybody could fall. It's not a news, but it has become a news because people are watching his age. They are watching.
Dangote moved his fuel to 738. As of today, we got the news that Dangote is moving into 838. That means the one that is even from the NNPC thing is not, perform as much as he wants to perform. He voluntarily stepped away from the contest for a re-election. But here we are in this country. Just yesterday or thereabout, the governor of Kano State defected from the platform with which he was elected as a governor to the ruling party, just because, what was his reason? He wanted to align with the central and support Tinubu's presidency. In Adamawa, the son of the former president, Atiku Abubakar, defected from his party to AP and pro Ekumo on President Tinubu and show support for Tinubu re-election. Now, nobody is celebrating the president falling, but if age has become a burden and the president has realized that the age is not helping him to perform as much as he wants to do for Nigeria, I think the best thing to do for Nigeria is to stay away from the contest in 2027. Because as it were, the president has started campaigning for the re-election since 2 years ago. So now, on daily basis, he comes to realize that, the age is not helping him. So what was he supposed to do? Because I make this statement because when my friend was talking, he made mention of Joe Biden that falling, anybody can slip and fall. This is the burden a nation bear when you elect an older person, aged person. America suffered it under Joe Biden, and we are now suffering it under, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because as it were, he's not in control of himself. And this is not his own making. It comes with age. Okay, all right. Okay, if you look at, there was this American president from 1937 to, I think, 44, thereabout. That was the first American president that did 4 years. I think Roosevelt, President Roosevelt, he had polio. And he was
he was on wheelchair when he was there.
But that was the time of depression, and that was the time of the Second World War.
and he led America well. Having said that, this particular president has not shown, what will I say, good governance in what we will term as good governance.
Yeah.
Do you think, because we talked about Joe Biden, the Joe Biden party, the Democratic Party, came up and said he should resign?
Yeah.
Or he should stay away from the next election.
Because he can't go for the next 4 years.
He can't go for the next one. And from what we heard, there were arguments between the Obama camp and the other elders in the party. Will party officials, in this respect, come up and say, stay away from election? Will he listen?
Well, in the first place, APC in Nigeria will not come out to tell Asiwaju to stay away from the election. They are not going to say it. And if you say it, he won't listen and you will be severely punished. The only person that can choose to not go for the next election is Asiwaju himself. And as far as he's breathing normally, he's walking normally, he's doing everything, he will not simply say because of age that I will not go, provided he's constitutionally allowed to go. You know, patriotism calls at certain level. We all understand that, like you are saying, good governance can make you ignore some other deficiencies that come with age.
Yes.
Because we are all growing old by the day, all of us. While we are improving in wisdom, improving in certain things, we are also losing agility and capability in certain area of strength. So when the mixture of this is not at the optimal level, patriotism will tell you that I need to quit. But how patriotic is he to say, oh, let me bring out a young, vibrant APC person that will make APC move forward, whether from the north or from the south or from anywhere. It has to take patriotism. It has to understand that leadership goes beyond you. He has to understand that a country, when you put the interest of the country ahead of yours, people will remember you for life. The greatest legacy he could throw out there is, yes, not because of the fallen, anybody could fall, I've said it before, that really I'm not at my optimum capacity again, combining everything, combining the increased wisdom and the degraded physical capabilities and all that. I'm not at the optimum combination of all these capabilities that I need to give way. I need to step aside. I remember Dr. Baba Ahmed, upon resigning, called that all these politicians who are way above 70 something should give way, not because they are not relevant, but that they should operate from the back. They should operate from behind the scene. We are the front here. There are people behind the camera and behind the engineering room, working to make sure that what we are saying is reaching out to the people. They are all relevant. That is how these people should be working at this time. But I doubt if it's going to happen.
Now, what will be your advice to the president? Because even though we are not APC members, as citizens, we can say advice to the president.
I said it earlier that, look, President Joe Biden did what is noble and patriotic. Tinubu should do same. He should take a bow at this time. That's my advice.
All right. From our panelists, we said he should take a bow at this time. Looking at the whole issues in the country right now, we feel that maybe his capacity to match them is not that strong. We'll be back on last.